What up, world history? Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to really lecture about a lot of things going on in world history. We're going to talk more about technology. We've been talking a little bit about the Industrial Revolution and what was going on at that point. We talked about the Triangle Shirt Waste Factory, right? There was a big fire, and that was a couple days ago for your assignment. But you watched this video where there were no regulations within this building, and they had locked the doors to keep union organizers out. There was a lot of young girls that were working in this factory, and somebody lit a match, and bam, the factory goes up, and it's on one of the upper floors of this building, right? And the doors had been locked, and the doors swung in. So when they tried to run out and open that door, everybody was crowded around. They couldn't open the door. That led to some changes within the work environment. And a lot of those girls, it was called the Day It Rained Children, believe it or not. It's really gross. But the girls, a lot of the workers were jumping from the building. The fire escape didn't work. The ladders from the fire department didn't go far enough up. So they jumped to their deaths. And that's why it's called the Day That Rained Children, because all these kids were jumping from the building and landing with a thud, which was really gross and tragic. We also read about the Luddites yesterday and how they were smashing machines and technology was taking away jobs, and so they were revolting in their way. Uh, but there were harsh repercussions for that. Right? We saw that a 12-year-old boy was put to death for his role in attacking one of the factories and things. So very bad stuff going on at that point. But the pushback from factory owners and from rich guys was enormous. They didn't want unions organizing. They didn't want safety measures have to be in the factories and stuff like that. So there's a lot of pushback, I guess you could say. So we're going to build on that a little bit today. I'm not going to lecture. We would have a great debate if everybody was in class. We usually do about this time about technology, right? Like the Luddites believe that machines were taking jobs from people, and in a sense they were right. One machine could do the job of 5 or 10 people. That means the other people don't have jobs, and so that can lead to unemployment and problems. And just because we have the technology doesn't necessarily mean that we should use it, right? A famous quote was that I've not noticed science and morality to work hand in hand. Now think about that. I've not known science and morals to walk hand in hand. So that means that sometimes we can do things scientifically, but should we do those things, right? Just because we have the ability to do stem cell research, should we? Just because we have the ability to perform abortions, should we? Just because we have the ability to drop a bomb on somebody from thousands of miles away, should we? Just because we have the ability to create videos and social media and put everything out there, should we? So those are some deep questions. And some people will say absolutely, and some people will say no. My my big question to you is, what do you think? Do you think that science and technology is always a good thing? Sure, it's a good thing right now with this vaccine that we're getting for COVID, right? Although some people will argue against that vaccine too. So there's always two sides to every question, and two different answers. If you ask 10 different people, they're going to have maybe 10 different answers. So I want to hear what you have to say about technology. I want you to think about social media, right? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is the sense that we can text everybody what we're thinking or hello, is that killing personal relationships? Back when I was your age, I had to actually talk to people face to face. I could call them on the phone, which was another issue, right? We didn't have cell phones. But we didn't communicate the same way that you do. You guys have relationships with people you don't see. I didn't really have that when I was in high school or younger, or even for a few years when I was in college and things. We had to communicate face to face. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, right? Is it good that I can keep up with my college friends on text, which I love to do? 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But is that good or bad, right? Is that killing our personal relationships? If I wanted to ask somebody out, I had to actually ask them out versus, on online or whatever. So I really want you to think about this question before you go answering it, right? Another thing scientifically that's a possibility is these tracking devices, right? Just because we can track people, should we? Um, I mean, obviously, it's being done through Google or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Because if you start talking about something, an ad pops up for that shortly thereafter, right? It's weird that we are kind of being tracked and things like that. Could we put those in people? It would be a good thing if somebody was missing and we could find them through this tracking device. But do you really want everybody knowing where you are at all times? So I really want you to think about whether or not this advance in technology is good or bad, or can it be both? And I want you to explain that in 100 words plus. Okay, so use some strong examples. So if you say, I think that technology is really bad for relationships, this is why. I have seen this happen, or I've heard of this happening. And you can tackle 2 or 3 of the things that I've discussed briefly here, right? But 100 to 150 words, that should be plenty for you to sum up exactly what I want to know. Give your advice. You're not going to be wrong, whatever you say, right? I don't care about that as long as you prove it with some facts or examples. You're all good. All right. That's your assignment for today. I hope you enjoy it. I wish we could debate it because I think it'd be really cool. And I might take some excerpts from what you write and put it into Monday's lecture. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Make sure you're getting your stuff done. Remember, I don't want you to hand stuff in late. You've generally got about 28 hours to get everything done from the day before. That's plenty of time with these 20-minute assignments. Okay. Have a great day, great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.